Hey guys, EBP Man here, and in today's video we're doing a comparison review between the Beats Studio Buds 2021 against the AirPods Pro. A lot of you have been asking, which one should you get? Well, let's check out this video. We're going to do an EBP Man call quality audio test, and we're going to check out all the features as well as how they fit. Let's get right to it. Now, the very first thing we're going to talk about is battery life. And I have to say that there's a big difference, right, in one specific category when it comes to the Beats Studio Buds compared to the AirPods Pro. And this is it. While both of them are going to give you anywhere 4.5 to 5 hours of usage with ANC on or using the transparency, the difference is that when you turn off ANC and transparency mode, you only get 5 hours out of this guy. Over here, all the way up to 8 hours. So that's the big difference. So it really takes it when it comes to battery life. Now, when we talk about total usage with the cases, they're equal. You're talking about 24 hours within both of these. They also have similar fast charging modes. Both of them are going to give you 1 hour of usage after 5 minutes of charge, which is really good. From a Bluetooth perspective, the Bluetooth is pretty similar. We know for a fact that the Bluetooth for the AirPods Pro are 5.0. We believe that be the case for these as well, although it's not highly documented. Still looking for that, but many of the reviews that I've seen say that it is. I just haven't been able to find that. Now, let's talk about independent use. Both of them can be used independently. So that's great. So it's going to extend your battery life. That means you can use one in one ear, one in the other ear. Doesn't matter which one, you can do it for either. Now, the other thing that you have is great ANC, but I will give active noise canceling the upper hand to the AirPods. I think the AirPods do slightly better when it comes to ANC, and they also do slightly better when it comes to transparency mode over the Beats. Now, when it comes to mics, you're looking at 2 mics. We know documented 2 mics on this guy, but we don't know how many mics are here. IPX4 rated on both, so you can use them both in the gym without any problems. And while you can get the AirPods Pro to work on an Android device, there's really no supporting app. And there also is no supporting app for firmware updates on an Android device. So you literally have to find an iPhone or an iPad to update your AirPods Pro if you're an Android user. With the Beats, you can use them both on Android and on iOS, and the app supports the firmware upgrades, which is a huge deal. As we take a look at the cases, so let's go ahead and switch to the cases now. The other big difference that you have here is the charging mechanism, and that's where I would say there's a distinction and why I would give the superior one to the Beats. With the cases, you have the proprietary Apple connector, and over here you have a USB-C, which I think gives you a lot of flexibility. However, with the AirPods Pro, you do have wireless charging, right? You just don't have that over here with this guy. Nothing there. Outside of that, they're very similar in design, right? You can see the design is very similar. This one I have a case on it. When you open this up, you do have an LED that turns on. Inside you have the pairing button, and over here you have no pairing button on the outside, but you have it over here. Now, the earbuds themselves, when you have them in the case, they're not going to come out. They're magnetically guided, so you can see how they guide nicely like that. And you see the same thing over here. They both lock into place. But there's some big differences, right? So we'll take these 2 guys out so we can take a look at these. They are designed very differently. This one has a stem. This one does have kind of like a physical button that you can press. It's not tactile. I know in some of the videos I was talking about it being tactile. It really isn't. So there is, this is actually a physical button, although it's very discreet. And you do have venting sensors on this, and all the controls are controlled here on the side. Now, from a profile perspective, I'm going to put one in this here and one in this here, and then we'll hold this like this so you can see. You twist them to lock them in. Which one has the lowest profile? And that's going to vary from face to face, right? Size of your ears, the cheekbones, geometry of your face is a big deal. So if you're looking for a specific look, this is what they would look like, and the differences. This one is, again, you had the stem. This is the AirPod look. And then when you look at this one over here, you have something that's more of a button, earbud, as you also find. So they're just 2 different styles. Now let's talk about comfort. From a comfort perspective, I'd say that my personal opinion for my ears, I do like the AirPods. I think the AirPods just rest a little bit nicer. They don't tend to go really deep into your ear if that's something that it's important to you. They rest more on the outside of your ear and hook on. They both don't come out for me, right? So I can work out, I can do like CrossFit. I have no issues with them. I can run, I can bike, not a problem. But it really comes down to your overall, I would say, your ears and how you like the fit. Now let's talk about audio quality. From an audio perspective, you're looking at bass, mids, and highs present. You have good soundstage. You also then have pretty good immersive experiences because of the actual seals that you get with these. So they're pretty much equal, I would put it in that area. However, when it comes to 3D, like the 3D audio, the spatial stuff, the new stuff that they're doing with the AirPods are pretty amazing. I think that they sound great, especially if you have that high definition audio feature if you subscribe to that service. But besides that, if you're just comparing standard music to each other, I think they're pretty equal. But we do have an EB Command style audio test next, so you can hear what I heard. Let's check it out.
You look at me like I'm crazy when I shut my feelings out. You look at me like I'm different. Still you stay cause you feel something real. Get so lost in my moments. Doesn't mean I don't need you. I fell in love with your colors. You look at me like I'm crazy when I shut my feelings out. You look at me like I'm different. Still you stay cause you feel something real. Get so lost in my moments. Doesn't mean I don't need you. I fell in love with your colors. They kinda tell me what I'm thinking.
Now next we're going to do a call quality test of the AirPods Pro in a quiet environment. If we take a look at our decibel readings, anywhere between 24 and 28 decibels in noise. It's going to switch. Now this is what the call quality would sound like making a phone call in a quiet environment with the AirPods Pro. This is a test. 1, 2, 3. This is our test. Next, let's add some wind to the environment. Now this is what the AirPods Pro would sound like in a windy environment. This is a test. 1, 2, 3. This is our test. Now next we're testing the AirPods Pro, but this time with a face mask on. So if you're wearing a face mask, this is what they're going to sound like with the face mask on. Now we're doing your call quality test of the Beats Studio Buds in a quiet environment. And as we take a look at our decibel readings, anywhere between 29 and 30 decibels in noise. Let's go ahead and switch. Now this is what the call quality will sound like making a phone call with the Beats Studio Buds in a quiet environment. This is a test. 1, 2, 3. This is our test. Next, we'll add some wind to the environment. Now this is what the Beats Studio Buds sound like with the windy environment. This is our test. 1, 2, 3. This is our test. Now next we're testing the Beats with the face mask on. This is what they would sound like with the face mask on. Now we're continuing our audio test of the AirPods Pro, but this time in a noisy environment. As you can see here, our decibel readings are anywhere between 39 and also 80 decibels in noise. A little bit higher than that. What we're going to do is we're going to switch to the AirPods Pro, stay quiet to see how much is being canceled, and then we'll continue with the vocal test. Let's go and switch. This is what the AirPods Pro would sound like in a noisy environment. This is a test. 1, 2, 3. This is our test. We're continuing our test with the AirPods Pro, but with an infant crying in the background. This is what they would sound like if you have an infant crying in the background. Now, for those of you who have a dog barking in the background or dogs at home, this is what they would sound like if dogs were barking in the background. Now, the AirPods Pro also will sound like this if you have a doorbell ringing in the background. Now we're testing out the Beats Studio Buds in a noisy environment as we take a look at our decibel readings, anywhere between 44 to 79 decibels in noise. What we're going to do is we're going to switch to the buds, we're going to stay quiet for a little bit, and then we'll continue the audio test. So let's go ahead and switch. This is what the Beats Studio Buds sound like in a noisy environment. This is a test. 1, 2, 3. This is our test. Now this is what the Beats Studio Buds would sound like with an infant crying in the background. This is what they would sound like if you had an infant crying in the background. Now this is what the Beats Studio Buds would sound like if you had a dog barking in the background.
This is what they would sound like with the dog barking in the background. Now, this is what the Beats Studio Buds would sound like with the doorbell ringing in the background. This is a doorbell in the background.
So guys, that wraps up our review of the Beats Studio Buds compared to the AirPods Pro. So if you're asking, which one am I leaning more towards? I'm actually leaning more still towards the Beats. I do like the extended battery life. For me, the 8 hours is a killer, and the fact that I can use these independently. The comfort is great as well, and overall, I like the non-proprietary charging. Even though this one has wireless charging, it's super convenient. I like the flexibility, and I like the fact that I can use it on an Android phone and still get updates. See you in the next one.